Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on the rarest discoveries and the most surprising coin stories from across South Africa and beyond. Your support keeps this journey alive, and every new subscriber helps us bring more powerful content to collectors just like you. Now let's dive into a coin that many people have handled, exchanged, and forgotten, yet it carries a silent legacy that only true collectors can appreciate. The 2018 South African 5 Rand with the old coat of arms. Think for a moment about how many times you've seen a or 5 coin and never once imagined that certain dates or certain versions could hold a deeper story. But the truth is, the South African 5 Rand is one of the most fascinating modern coins in circulation. The 2018 version, using the old coat of arms, sits right in the middle of a quiet shift in South Africa's coinage history. For collectors in their late 50s and early 60s, especially those who lived through the years when the country transitioned through different emblems and national symbols, the story of this coin becomes even more meaningful. The 5 Rand itself has always been a symbol of strength. It is the highest value circulation coin in South Africa, introduced to replace the old R5 banknote. But the 2018 coin is special because it belongs to a small group of coins minted shortly before the switch to designs that use the updated coat of arms on all denominations. Many people don't realize that the presence of the old coat of arms on a 2018 coin marks the end of an era. It's like holding a final chapter in your palm. That makes it more than just metal. It becomes a small piece of national memory. Collectors often say that modern coins don't hold the same magic as older silver or copper coins, but that belief overlooks a hidden truth. Modern coins with transitional features often gain attention later because they capture a moment of change. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a man rediscovering the coins you saved years ago in a drawer or a small tin box, this 2018 5 Rand has a way of pulling you back into the details you once ignored. You may remember handling coins from the 70s, 80s, or 90s, watching the designs change, the metal shift, and the minting years come and go. The 2018 Old Coat 5 Rand is built on that same timeline, but it stands out because it represents the end of one design era and the beginning of another. This coin carries the same bimetallic structure that South Africans know well, a strong outer ring and a contrasting inner core. The springbok leaps across the reverse, just as confidently as it has for many years. But the old coat of arms on the obverse, with its detailed shield and heraldic elements, gives the 2018 piece its unique identity. Many collectors say that the old emblem has more character, more artistic depth, and a stronger sense of history. Others say that both designs have their place. But no matter what, when a design is replaced, the older one gains a certain attraction, especially for those old enough to have lived through the decades when these symbols represented the nation. Men between the ages of 55 and 65 understand the weight of small details. You've lived long enough to know that the objects we carry in our pockets can sometimes hold more meaning than they appear to. You've seen times change, governments shift, currencies evolve. So when you look at a coin like the 2018 5 Rand with the old coat of arms, it isn't just about collecting. It's about recognizing a piece of a story you lived through. The older emblem might remind you of school days, your early working years, or even moments when the economy was shifting and coins were worth either too little or too much. This small metal disc carries a memory that younger collectors cannot fully feel. Collectors today are slowly beginning to recognize the importance of coins minted during transition years. But here's the interesting part. Coins like the 2018 5 Rand don't get the spotlight right away. They tend to rise in attention gradually. Many of the most valuable modern coins today were once seen as ordinary. Think back to the early commemorative issues. People tossed them into drawers. Years later, they turned into treasures. The same pattern often repeats. And even though not every coin becomes extremely rare, many become desirable because of their story, their design, or their timing. The 2018 Old Coat 5 Rand is one of those coins that collectors appreciate for its subtle details. Its finish, its strong bimetallic construction, and the old emblem give it a quiet dignity. But what makes it particularly interesting is that it represents the final moment before the universal transition to the new coat of arms design. Coins minted at the end of a design era often hold long-term interest. And that's why collectors across South Africa and even internationally keep an eye on this piece. If you're someone who has always appreciated coins not only for their market value, but for the history engraved in them, this coin deserves a place in your collection. Maybe you already have one tucked away in a jar, mixed with other are 5 coins. Maybe it has been there for years, unnoticed. But now that you know its story, you'll see it differently. You'll see the closing chapter of an old design. You'll see the familiar emblem that represented the nation for many decades. You'll see a coin that marks a specific moment in time. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel because every day we bring you stories, secrets, and surprising values of coins that many people overlook, but collectors quietly search for. If you enjoy learning about rare pieces, forgotten designs, and the hidden worth sitting inside old drawers and cupboards, then hit that subscribe button now so you never miss the next treasure we uncover. Today, let me take you on a journey into a coin that may look modern but carries the heart of an older South African era. The 5 Rand from 2021, featuring the old coat of arms, is one of those coins that seems ordinary at first glance. But for collectors who understand symbols, dates, and design transitions, it becomes something much more interesting. And especially for gentlemen between the ages of 55 and 65 who lived through decades where coins changed slowly and meaningfully. This piece feels like a bridge between the South Africa of yesterday and today. Imagine holding a coin that tells 2 stories at once. On one side, you have the modern minting quality, the newer production techniques, the polished edges, the secure bimetal design that the 5 Rand is known for. But on the other side, you have a piece of artwork that belongs to an earlier South African identity, a coat of arms that represented generations, traditions, and values before the later redesign arrived. That combination of modern minting with historic symbolism is what gives this coin an unexpectedly strong appeal among collectors. When we talk about the 2021 5 Rand with the old coat of arms, we're not talking about age in the traditional sense. The coin is not from the 1960s or 1970s. It isn't a coin that sat in pockets during the older decades when life was simpler, when petrol was cheap, and when the radio was the center of entertainment. No, this coin is relatively new. But the moment the old coat of arms appears on a recent year, collectors take notice because it marks the end of an era. It becomes a closing chapter. And in the world of coin collecting, closing chapters often grow in value over time because they cannot be repeated. Think for a moment about other coins that increased in value not because they were old, but because they represented the last use of a design. Those coins usually become more important as the years pass. Collectors love transitions. They love things that mark the end of something familiar. And this 2021 5 Rand does exactly that. It stands at a doorway between 2 symbolic periods of South African history. The obverse shows the well-known new, sturdy, powerful, and commonly associated with the 5 Rand series. But surrounding that image is the old coat of arms, a design many South Africans grew up seeing for most of their lives. For men in their late 50s and early 60s, this coat of arms is not just a picture. It is a memory. It is a symbol that appeared on passports, school books, government documents, and earlier coinage. So when it appears on a 2021 coin, it brings nostalgia as well as collector interest. Now, when collectors look at coins like this, they think about several things. They think about the mintage numbers. They think about how long the mint continued the old design before switching to the newer one. They also consider the condition of the coin. A 5 Rand from 2021 that has been through many hands and pockets will never attract the same interest as one that still has its shine, its detail, and its crispness. But aside from condition, what really matters here is the combination of timing and design. A modern year with an older symbol becomes something collectors latch onto. And when they start talking, the market slowly reacts. In the beginning, people don't notice. They spend the coin without thinking twice. It drops into tills and counters. It passes through markets, street vendors, petrol station cash drawers, and supermarkets. But after a while, the conversation begins. Someone says, "Hold on, this coin shouldn't have the old coat of arms anymore." Someone else says, "That's interesting, maybe it's worth keeping." And suddenly, a large number of these coins disappear from circulation because collectors start holding them back. This is exactly the moment when a coin begins its journey upward in value. Not because it is extremely rare, but because demand slowly starts to outweigh supply. And when your age group remembers the older designs personally, the emotional value grows alongside the collector value. Now think about the broader collecting world. Many collectors today are focusing heavily on South African coins, especially those connected to design changes. Whenever a symbol changes, or a famous image is retired, or a mint transitions from an old identity to a new one, the final coins of that older chapter become highly desirable. This 2021 5 Rand sits perfectly in that category. It is like a bookmark in the history of South African coinage and symbolism. Collectors who specialize in South African modern issues have already started to take interest. Some want uncirculated coins in protective sleeves. Others want coins certified by grading services. And even though this coin is still relatively young, early collectors understand something important. Modern coins with historical symbolism often show steady value increase over the decades. They may not explode overnight, but they grow consistently, especially when the symbolism becomes more distant with time. And for viewers in your age group, this coin represents something familiar, something from your own timeline. That adds a personal touch that younger collectors don't feel in the same way. For you, the old coat of arms is not history from a book. It is something you lived with, something you saw throughout your life. That emotional connection is a powerful reason collectors in your generation hold on to coins like this. When you find a 2021 5 Rand with the old coat of arms, don't rush to spend it. Don't toss it into a jar and forget it. Treat it like a small piece of your own history that the mint accidentally stamped into a newer year. Put it aside, check its condition, and store it properly. And when you show it to someone, you won't just be showing a coin. You'll be showing a symbol that has carried decades of South African identity into the modern era. Now for the part many of you wait for. The current collector interest and estimated market value for a nice, good condition example of this 2021 5 Rand old coat of arms issue can go up to about $50.